So let's make a quick video here. So June 26th, I painted sleep, and I do this, show you what happens then, in the world news. And we saw Todd Chrisley, this family here. Chrisley, husband and wife, were pardoned from jail, 12 years, I think, and so it became top news, world news, in US, big news. And what happened now is that there is an interview that was released June 28th, yesterday, where it is mentioned that the son, 19 years old, is scared and wants to sleep with the parents. It's the subject of sleep. It becomes an emotional tension that is just here. And so I show it here. It's not really top news right now, because, I mean, this family is top news because it's something that have been talked about a lot lately. And now, in relation to that, we see that the son, 19 years old, wants to sleep because of feeling a bit scared for the situation. Wants to sleep there, That's weird. So, yeah, my painting is sleep. My painting are these beds, or drawing. Wait, let me find an image. Here it is. Okay, so you can see, so it's June 26th. And some things are beginning to happen here now, that's fascinating. It's kind of hard to make videos like this. It's because it's so odd. This phenomena is so odd that no one really knows what to think, how to relate to this. This is weird, it's really weird what's going on, but that's the thing. I produce evidence, so there is no room for opinions anymore, basically, because it is evidence-based. I tell you when I paint it that it will become true, and then something like this happens. And when I painted it, I said that we will discuss this. It's going to be it's going to be something in the news, we're going to talk about this, That's what I said on June 26th. And now there are things to talk about. There are things to talk about. Voila, And we see not only this, but also Todd Chrisley mentioned that he met God in a dream while sleeping, right? So that's other news. Wait, let me find that for you. Oh, I didn't. I should have made a screenshot of that. Yeah. So, well, you can find that yourself. So, so this interview wasn't released until June 28th. It was recorded on June 26th. and there are no articles about this. Todd Chrisley's son, 19 years old, asked to sleep in parents' room. You see, it's a bit weird. Like, why is it so, why can, like, how can you relate to this even, how can we talk about what's happening here? So basically, I'm painting something and then it kind of pops up, you know. That's what's happening. That's what's happening basically. And mm, and I would argue that this is in relation to top news, because this couple over here has been in the top news for a prolonged time, for a long period of time. They have been in the top news. So so now this was said, right? Today. Oh, maybe I should. So yeah, the interview was June 28th. The news about this was today, right? June 29th. But yeah, it was recorded on June 26th, but not released for anyone to see, right? But yeah. So uh, so when you look at this, I would like you to think like this, that focus on the fact that, like, the weirdness of this, like the 19-year-old son, that's a bit like odd. Okay, it's a bit odd. Asks to sleep in the room of these guys, and it's in the top news, and oh, wow, it's like perfect for me. Like, oh, it makes my drawing better. Like, the point of this drawing. Oh, that's the whole point of this. The point of this drawing is that I'm able to sit like I'm doing right now and talk about what's happening, basically. And so this is the point of it. And, they're probably going to pop up more things, but the most important thing here is that you just take notice, like take note of the the probability that this occurs, you know. It's weird, you know. And the weirdness. So wait a moment. So for me personally, all of this is you know, it's weird for me also, and the fact that I'm able to do this for like again and again and again. It's really weird, but there there came a time where I felt different. I started to feel different, and that's really something that I cannot explain to you. Something felt different, and then I don't know what to say, There's so much I would like to talk about when it comes to this, and but I am restricting myself to do it in the form of art, because it is not accepted, like, to even think like this, to even And here's the thing, I'm showing evidence, I'm just again and again showing evidence that, okay, I paint something and then all of a sudden I'm able to talk about it and make a pretty good point out of something in the top news, you know? Pretty good. Like, how is that even possible? Well, that's the thing, it's hard to relate to this, and that's why I am focusing on simply evidence for now. And when there is a realistic response to what I'm doing, like a realism, I'm looking for a realism, I'm looking for consciousness. And when the consciousness is here in a realistic way, interacting to what I'm doing, then I will open up more and talk more about what's actually happening here and how I see about this and feel about this. Right now it's more like I do like that, I do like this, and like, well, there is not enough response here to what I do. Reality response, yes, but and I show evidence, 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 and yes, I can do this forever, continue like this. And I would like to imagine that eventually, you know, I would like to imagine that eventually consciousness is here talking with me back, or consciousness is invalid, like it didn't exist, something like that. And this is just a room of mirrors. I prefer, like, what do I prefer? I prefer consciousness, of course I do. But um, but who knows, you know? Who knows where it's going? At least a true consciousness don't want to be invalidated. Like, oh, just like I'm like when I'm doing this art, I'm expressing my beingness. I exist. And when I do that, something looking at me from, like, I imagine something looking and it sees me moving. Basically, I move and I exist. So I am, you know. And at the same time, consciousness has to show that it exists. And that's the idea, that I keep doing these things, and if there is a lingering consciousness, it must reveal itself. Or, like, for the sake of, hey guys, like, hey, don't invalidate, don't invalidate my consciousness, because that's what I'm doing. When I do this art here, I am invalidating consciousness until there is a response. And who knows, like, maybe that's where it's going. Because there is barely any, like, no comments almost, and no realistic response to something absolutely, like, what I'm doing here is beyond, you know, because, you know, I'm not bragging in what I do here. I'm telling you how it is. I paint it. I know that it's going to become from that. and then I show you evidence, and every time I do this, there is a risk in my credibility. Every time there is this dream of, like, I would imagine that there are consciousness lingering here and thinking, maybe it will not, like, maybe I will have nothing to talk about, but like someone crossing their fingers, basically for my painting not to become anything, my drawing. I also want to point out that art means craft. It simply means a craft. Art is a craft, or a skill, a craft. That's all. This is art, as in crafting, and like it's a form of expression of beingness, existing. And I tell you beforehand that this is going to, like, we're going to talk about this. This is going to stick, It's going to stick. And then, like, these top news guys over here, they deliver on they make my painting, my drawing better, These guys here. You see what I mean? And why is this? It's, again, I'll just say again, it's abnormal for a 19-year-old to sleep with the parents. It's a bit abnormal. Like, I don't care, I don't care. What I'm saying is that it's improbable, and it's emotional vulnerability that is building up here with the sleeping. Do you see that? And it would be so much easier if you would just see this as some kind of, I mean, if you're a logical person, you can see this as a sort of chemical reaction, or in reality, that's how I see it. And there is artistic expression from everyone. Everyone are doing that, being artistic, but in different ways. Some people talk, some people sing, some people. So these guys, there is this inspiration of sleep, and in different ways things are charmed by that. And that's how it works. So, I think I'll end this video now. So it's like, it's weird that my channel has no, like, connection to people. I would like consciousness to exist. Yes, I would like people to exist. Yes, I would like to have people around me that are like, I do have a family, yes. What I mean is that this, I don't know how to explain it, but what I'm definitely doing in my videos is, in the long term, this will invalidate consciousness, because you are allowing me to do these videos without a reaction, without a realistic reaction to what I'm doing. And that in the long term, slowly, it invalidates consciousness. And I don't want that, but that's where it's going, you know. And all of this is just natural, you know. Me doing these videos is natural because I'm capable of doing these videos. I'm capable of painting like this, so I do that. Me being capable of doing this puts a pressure on consciousness to adapt to that capability. Yes, you cannot place me in a box, because this is weird. This is abnormal. You cannot. It's hard to relate to what I'm doing, but uh, but as I said, imagine something watching all of this. Imagine something watching and trying to figure out what is alive and what is not. You know, who can feel pain and who can't. Well, a mirror can show pain, but it cannot feel it. It can give symptoms, or it can give the impression of pain, but can it feel it? That's the thing. And there's always something watching. There's always something watching, making this distinction if there is living things or not. And just like I'm doing, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, does consciousness exist? What is what is what is ethical? What is ethical? What is immoral? What is, like, I'm thinking about this. And in a way, yeah. So guys, again, you know, this is really odd. These guys are in the top news. And yeah, a little video about that. Okay, see you.